as the calendar flips to September 1, I start thinking about fall. Now, it's way too hot outside to do much mum buying or anything like that. Asters, it's just way too hot. But I am starting to look through, take inventory, and make some decisions about some fall decor items I've got for inside and out. And I'm doing this, I'm starting early this year with all of my decorations for the holiday seasons because I'm going to start pitching some of them. I'm really trying to scale down. I found that increasingly I want things that are more natural and that I don't have to put away at the end of the season. I can just put them in the compost pile or discard them. But there are some things that I want to keep, and so this is where I need your help in the decision-making process. So here's my question of the day. At what point do you start looking through your holiday decorations? Is it too early, just right for fall? And when do you start looking at even your Christmas things to decide what you want to keep and what you might want to get rid of? Or maybe you don't want to get rid of anything. That's basically my decision du jour today, is what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. So some of this stuff is actually new, and I'm going to be doing some videos on how I style them a little bit later. But these are the new things that I'm really, really excited about. Most of these, well, actually all of these new things came from Shop Terrain or Terrain. I love, love, love this wreath. They call it, let's see, metal wreath, extra large in white. This is going to go on my front door. I love it. And a consideration for me, you guys, is that my front door faces south. So anything that is alive or has live material in it can bake. And so I wanted to get something that was a little bit more enduring and that could handle the hot weather. The other thing that I like about this is I think this will look beautiful in winter too, because it's kind of in that white. So I'll show you how I zhuzh that out and where I hang it a little bit later. Here's the one I got for my back door. And again, I'll put these links. I just love this one, as did Taylor, my daughter-in-law. So it may live at my house, it may live at her house. I'm really not sure. It's got some dried coxcomb on it and some different elements. It's a little bit more glam, and I really like it, but I think this one's going to go on my back door. Again, I'm going to do a whole dedicated video to how I style these. So those are the two wreaths, and then I also got some garland. Here's another question for you guys. Where do you stage all of your stuff and all of your mess when you're looking through your holiday decor? For me, it's always in the dining room. I'm not really sure why, but my dining room will be kind of a mess for a while. And to orient you, Stuart, do you mind just showing people? Those are the French doors that go out into the bistro area. You can see I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and bought myself some sunflowers. So it's got nice, pretty light, long view. And then I also got a ginkgo metal wreath, and this may be my favorite thing that I got. And this is this oak leaf garland with these little acorns on it. And I can't wait to style these. So I will be doing that next week. So these are the new things. Again, I will put links below in the description box or maybe a card up above so you guys can click on those. So those are some of the new things. Now the decision point is is more about stuff that I'm thinking about getting rid of. Part of it is because I guess I have post-traumatic stress disorder about some of this, you guys, because it was right before Halloween last year that we had that cataclysmic ice storm. And in fact, there's even a picture in my book of the aftermath of that ice storm with some of these pumpkins just kind of amidst all of the catastrophic, Stuart's just remembering. And so it's a little PTSD for me to even look at some of these decorations. But let me move. These are all hydrangeas, dried hydrangeas that are on my dining room table. So I'm going to move this so you guys can get a better idea, and I'll put some of this stuff up on my dining room table. So I've got my tub out here, Stuart, and I probably don't have nearly as much as some of you do, especially if you have kiddos and especially if you really, really decorate for Halloween. Now for me, fall kind of comes in 3 seasons. There's 3 different components to it. The first season for me about fall is what I think of as apple season. And I do a lot of decorating with real apples. I make table arrangements, tablescapes with apples. I'll put a card up above to some of them that I did with Southern Living and some Encore azaleas a little bit earlier. That was a really fun one and actually was one of my favorite ones to do. So I'll show you that. So go back and look at that one if you want to get some tablescape ideas. So the first part of the season I think of as apple season. And if I were going to entertain, one of these days, I definitely, especially when I have grandkids, I want to do an apple tasting party because I think that is just so fun. Do it outside when it's cooler, get all sorts of apples, bob for apples, have a really fun apple theme to some outdoor entertaining. So that's what I think of as the first fall season. The second part of fall season I think of as I guess Halloween. So we start getting out all of our Halloween decorations, skeletons, spooky kind of stuff, pumpkins and gourds, and we begin to kind of autumnalize. Now, as a storage unit, this is my great big pumpkin that I showed you last year. Here, let me get these little guys out that hold these pumpkins, the smaller pumpkins that I spray painted, you guys, with some metallic paint to make them. These are just those kind of plastic fiberglass pumpkins that you can get just about anywhere, and I spray painted mine so that they looked like metal. So some of these look like galvanized metal, some of them they just have different patinas on them, and I even have this great big monster one that I spray painted. So thumbs up or thumbs down, you guys. I don't, when my kids were little, I used to do a lot of this kind of decorating outside with scarecrows and pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. Halloween is huge in our neighborhood, and I used to do a lot more of that. But now I'm inclined to do less of it. So I'm trying to decide whether or not to keep these, or if they're just taking up too much space and I don't want them anymore. Let me know if you think it's thumbs up or thumbs down on the jack-o'-lanterns. And these were the ones that were part of the huge pile of wood and ice and damaged tree that were in a huge mound in my front yard. And so whenever I look at them, I kind of have post-traumatic stress. And as I said, I think it's one of the pictures that made it into my book. So, and if you guys want to pre-order my book, we'll put a card up above. I worked really hard on it, so hopefully you'll forgive me my sales pitch. And I am going to do a whole video about the book a little bit later. But these, thumbs up or thumbs down? Stuart, would you thumbs up or thumbs down on these if you were me?
I thought they looked really cool last year.
Really cool? So you think I ought to keep them?
I don't know about that, but I thought they looked cool.
Yeah, they look cool. They're a little bit problematic to be outside, and someone recommended that I put in some flameless battery-operated candles instead of plugging them in. That kind of creates some issues too, though, because then they can get wet, and then the batteries in the candles have problems. So I'm kind of thinking through that. I'm not really sure. So you guys let me know, thumbs up or thumbs down on these. And I'm trying to decide what to do with them. If my kids lived in a house, I would probably just gift it to them, but they live in a loft apartment, so I'm not sure that that's practical. So that is my decision point number 1, and I'm about 50-50 on that right now. So I'll have to decide. I may have to bring in outside counsel to break the tie. Now, some other stuff. So if Halloween is the second fall season, then the third fall season is Thanksgiving, and that's definitely my favorite time of the year. So I've got this. This is definitely something I will keep. This is a cornucopia. It belonged to my mom. I spray painted it this galvanized metal, and one year I had an all blue and white and galvanized metal table for Thanksgiving. It was really exquisite, if I do say so myself. That was really fun. So this is definitely a keeper. I'm hoping I can at least maybe reduce the size of my truck that I've got in my basement. I'm also cleaning it up. Some other things that I will probably keep because these are just nostalgic for me. They're very old. This guy, okay, this witch, I think, let me see. This witch has lost her arm. I need to reattach it. But I got these metal Halloween forms. I don't know when. Here's a cat. And these usually live in or reside around Halloween in my windowsill in the kitchen. Here's Mr. Ghost. And these don't take up a lot of room, and I think they're really cute, and these are sentimental to me. So I will probably, oh, here is the Witch's Cauldron. So I will probably keep these because they look really cute, styled with Baby Boo and Jack Be Little pumpkins in the kitchen. I think these are cute, and so I'll probably keep those. One thing that I am definitely ready to retire because I'm just sick of it, and this is why, partly, because it just is always in kind of a big mess. And I used to hang this by my front door. There was the big skeleton. Stuart, you might want some of this stuff. Would Julia? Stuart, I don't know if I've ever told you, but Stuart has a daughter, Julia, who is a brilliant musician. She's got a concert that we're going to go to hopefully this weekend. What instruments does she play, Stuart?
Clarinet, all the clarinets and flutes.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she's on full scholarship to OCU. She is that brilliant. So anyhow, I've got this skeleton that I've had for years, and it was really cute. There was the little baby skeleton holding the big skeleton's hand. But this I'm just tired of because it's just kind of a mess, and it's okay to be tired of something. And again, if my kids were still little, I probably would have more of this stuff. But now I'm wanting a more sophisticated, maybe elegant outdoor fall decor. And then I've got a Mr. Spider. I used to do the spider web thing where you stretch it across the shrubs and all of that kind of stuff. That for me is just a little too messy now. And I am not someone who has ever had a big Halloween party. My neighborhood is huge for Halloween. There are millions of people who trick or treat here. Busloads actually come in and park at the end of the street. Stuart, are you nodding? It is a phenomenon. And a lot of times if it's a nice day, we just sit outside. I'll make red beans and rice or chicken and dumplings or something like that. We'll sit outside. Stuart, you're invited this year. And then we just have our baskets with trick-or-treat candy outside. So that's always kind of fun and a neighborly thing to do. Oh, here is just an old, I don't know, this was just a wreath that I made. So some of this stuff I am going to get rid of. I'm definitely going to get rid of some of this spider webby stuff because I just think it's too much of a mess. And then I've got a lot of these black crows. I'm not sure if I'll keep these or not. So this is something I'm kind of deciding on. In the past, I've done some really huge, I would take really huge broken branches and spray paint them black and put spider webs on them and these crows and everything. But again, that time of year, sometimes we're out of town, we'll go to Colorado or whatever, so I'm kind of rethinking my holiday decor as it relates to Halloween. Now, this will definitely be a keeper. This is a Crystal Head vodka bottle that, yes, it does get cleaned out and filled with vodka for the holidays, and I love the way I do decorate my bar for Halloween. So I will show you how I trick out my bar for Halloween. I think that's fun. Dan Aykroyd makes this kind of vodka?
Pretty sure that's right.
You're kidding. Well, okay, that is a little fun fact. I don't know, but Hubs got me this years ago, and I like it. So I will definitely keep that. So I don't have a ton of stuff. Oh, I've got this that I got at Pottery Barn, this spooky tree that I got at Pottery Barn years ago. I need to do an upgrade on these votive candles. You can see the spider web on it. And I'll probably keep this. But like I say, I don't do a lot of indoor entertaining around the holidays and now around Halloween. And now that my kids are older, I want maybe a more elevated look. So that's kind of like the second stage of what I think of as fall is Halloween. Apples come first and then comes Halloween. And what I love about this stuff from Terrain and some of these other things is that they bridge all the seasons of fall. So I can go ahead and put those out now. So these, I love you guys. These are one of my favorite things. You know, I just love old, gnarly, kind of moldy stuff. And look at these wonderful aged gourds. So a lot of times I will use these in a library setting or something like that. I'll put them in a huge basket or a bowl. I did spray paint them with a glossy enamel so that they would reflect candlelight. And I have a whole basket of these, or a whole bag of these that I can use in different ways. So I definitely save these from one year to the next and use them in different ways. Here's kind of a fun idea, you guys, is to use pumpkins and gourds. Well, I can't get that out. But to set gourds or pumpkins or whatever on top of candlesticks, and they look like finials and they're kind of fun. You can stick underneath. You can set them on some leaves that have already turned color. It's just kind of fun. And of course, I could spray paint any of these gold or some other elevated color, but I really love the earthy look. And then I have over here, in this area of my dining room. And by the way, you guys, in case you're wondering, all of the woodwork in my house downstairs is all mahogany. It's the woodwork that was original to the house with the exception of this section here. So we installed these built-ins, these mahogany built-ins. And it's nice because now at Thanksgiving I can use this kind of window area, this window display area as a sideboard. This is usually where I have all of the desserts staged here, and it's kind of fun. So I do love Thanksgiving things. So these are things that I definitely will hold on to. I've got, this is, if the weather is nice, we'll have the drinks bar and stuff set up outside. I've got this one that says give, and I've got another one that says thanks, and we put these on the table, the outdoor table. And then despite, these are really old Pottery Barn things, you guys. And despite my love-hate relationship with squirrels, I do think these are really, really sweet. These are little salt and pepper holders, or you can put their little squirrel votives in there. I think those are cute. And then I have all of these metallic little squirrels. I don't use all of these every year, but definitely. And then these are little place card holders that I can put at each table. Oh, this was for Jenny. I saved them one year to the next. They always come here for Thanksgiving. And I have a bunch of those. I've got these cute little turkeys. These were just dollar store glass turkeys that I spray painted. This was part of my galvanized metal tablescape, and they hold really tall, slender candles. So that was kind of fun. And then I just have an assortment of other little things over here that I'm just trying to organize and kind of clean out. Of course, I would never get rid of the finger puppets that my kids made in kindergarten. Here's one. Stuart, you were looking at the other one.
I only saw one.
Oh, no, here's the other one. Here's the other one. And these always have pride of place in my kitchen somewhere. And then I have all sorts of things that I've just spray painted that's probably in another container downstairs. But as I'm cleaning out my basement, as I'm getting rid of stuff, these are some of the things that are floating to the surface. These belong to my mom, John Alden and Priscilla, whoever they were. And of course, we're learning so much more about Thanksgiving now and the indigenous peoples and things of that nature. But these were always out at Thanksgiving, so these are very nostalgic to me, and these typically are in my kitchen window. So there is kind of what's in my fall decor trug, things I'm looking at inside and out. Let me know what some of your favorite things were, what you think I should get rid of, what you think I should keep, and then stay tuned for when I use these wonderful terrain items that are just exquisite. And I love this, so we're going to end on this note. Stuart's, I love this. Stuart, what did you say the other day that was so brilliant?
Oh, you can't tell what's older now.
Yeah, he was looking at this wreath, and he said, "Where'd that come from?" And I said, "Well, I just got it from Shop Terrain." And he said, "In your house, you can't ever tell what is new or what is old because everything typically looks old." So I kind of took that as a compliment. So I'm going to say goodbye. We've got to go because OU, Oklahoma University, and our Sooners are playing their first game today. So I'm going to cut this off. You guys will see this tomorrow, and hopefully we will have our first victory under our belt. So you guys have a great weekend. Well, if you've held on this long, here is my fashion epilogue. If not, just go on to the next video. So today I've got on my apron, my work apron that I got at World Market. I'll try to put a link in the description, and you guys just go to the little eye in the upper right-hand corner. You can click on that and it will expand every link that I reference in the video. But this is my apron, my work apron from World Market. I love it. I do have on breeches underneath it, you guys, just some cutoffs. I like taking old breeches and cutting them off to wear as shorts. I've just got on my foot form sandals. You guys know I love my earrings. I can't remember where I got these earrings. They may have even been a gift. And my turquoise bracelet montage is similar to what I had on the other day. This is an antique turquoise piece, however, that my sister Meg got for me. And this belonged to my mom. These other ones I just made or found somewhere. So there is my ensemble for today.